that. Fuck you, nigga. Kick your fucking ass. Fuck, that ain't even. I know. That's right. Right, Baker. Right. Here we go. This is what we're right here. Yeah. Got just what I need. Oh shit, it's all right. Stay down. Taking a break from the old Resident Evil formula, which is action-based, which from Resident Evil 6 and 5, it had more of a lot more of an action-packed feel. Resident Evil 7 goes back to the roots, which was in Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3, and a little bit of 4, and brings back all the puzzle solving, the annoying running around back and looking for pieces of the puzzle, mixed with a little bit of also 3 Nemesis, and we'll get back to that. So going back to his roots, I would say, yeah, this one did accomplish going back to his roots, like, you know, the whole mansion feel that you first go in there, you don't know what to do. But also, it's kind of like, it felt like a smaller, compact Resident Evil 1, if you like. Like, they had puzzles, but some of the puzzles were really easy, I would say, and it took me only 2 to 7 minutes to figure out. That's if I didn't, it took me longer if I didn't find out the puzzle places, like, later in the game. Also, I don't think that the keys weren't that much of a problem to find. Like, the keys were pretty much in the story, so you didn't have to really go around hunting. That was part of the story, then you could unlock your way through the game. Also, the limited of enemies, I would say, there were only, outside of the Baker family, there was only 4 types of enemies. 5 if you include the little bugs with the little sack thing, that would be 5. I would say they were kind of challenging, but not as scary. I think you heard that a lot, not as scary as other ones, because I mean, they were scary at first when you first meet them, when they're going around the corner and stuff like that, but they wasn't as interesting as the Baker family were. They all seem to do the same attacks, like just jump, hit you. More, yeah, bullet sponges, but they were just bullet sponges, just to make sure that you keep your health in check, and then see if you can keep management, pretty much. Management wise, I would say it wasn't as hard. I found myself saving too much ammo, and towards the end didn't really have any use for all the ammo I saved, except for one kind of boss fight at the end, which was like a bigger version of the molded that they have in there. So I would say that I wish that they would come up with more, like a more variety of monsters, like they did in 1, or like they did in 5 or 4. Since they had the material, they could have came up with just anything extra. I would also like for like a more explored area. For instance, they had it to where a part of the game where you were going around the plantation. It's really fun, and then they cut you off halfway to go to like a boat, to where you spend like a good bit of chunk of time there, and you wasn't even connected. Like, you couldn't go back and get weapons and stuff that you left behind. That I wanted to explore more of the area, you know, once I got weapons, and be like, hey, what if I could use this weapon in this area? But you can't. Also, they also cut you off after the boat. Also, they take you back to the plantation, but you can't explore the rest of the plantation, which I didn't like as well. I wish they would have put the ship and that other area back together with the plantation, so that you can explore back and forth, so you can get everything that you could. Get all the coins, and then there could have been like a little secret boss or something like that. But that might be with the DLC that's coming later on. And there's also another DLC coming. I think it's Not a Hero, if I'm not mistaken. But even though I have my criticisms about it, I really love this game. I just had some gripes about the way that they ended it. It's kind of like they were in a rush to get it out on time, and the rest of it might be in DLC. I don't know. The DLC is like $30, I think. I don't know if it might be too much. I'll see when the next DLC comes out. I might do a little review. I'm not too sure. But overall, it was really good gameplay. The question is, should I get it? Well, I would say that yes, you should, because it does go back to the roots. Also, playing it in VR, mostly I only played it in VR. It's a really good experience. Like, think of the demo. If you can get the midnight demo, take that but 100 times better. But also, when you get to the mid mark of it, it feels as though they were kind of rushing it a little bit. But the first part, where you had to fight the baker, that was extremely fun. Constantly going around being chased as you were searching for items to unlock your next item, your next area to unlock. And that's what I really loved about it. That first part was really enjoyable. There were also little parts too that did also references to other old survival horror type movies. As for the sound quality was really good. It was kind of high and low at sometimes, like especially during the end where you could barely hear anything. You could hear some wind, but not as good as like I would say in 4. Now, the voice acting was just as good as, I would say, 4 and 5. 5 was really good voice acting also, but not like 1. Well, the original 1, not the remake. But I would say I would give that a really good score, because it seemed like they really cared about the characters and the bakers that were in. Gameplay wise, it was really smooth with the VR. Like, pointing and aiming was definitely really good. Well, sometimes I missed because of the head waving, but I felt like I was in control the whole time. It didn't feel like there was no quirky controls. Just sometimes when you have to run and you have to turn back real fast, I would sometimes close my eyes, because it makes me nauseous. And that was another part of the VR too, like a little bit of nauseous. Like I had to take breaks. But you build up to it eventually to the point where I was able to play like 5 hours without really feeling nauseous at all. But if you want to play in VR and that's your first time playing it, then you should probably consider that the nauseous part. You just have to build up a tolerance. So as for the final part of the game, like I said, it was more of a scare fest than anything. It was just like images. The last boss fight was kind of the same thing, to where it was just things jumping at you. You wasn't really fighting anything, and then it went up to you didn't really have to use much at all. It was just they gave you something at the end, and then that was it to use to fight them. which didn't make any sense. I wish it was more of a, like, for instance, Resident Evil 4, or even the ones and six where you fall in once and they keep coming back to like a different location in the plantation, something like that. It's something about idea. Like I said, they might come up with something in the DLC. But for my score, I would give it a 4 out of 5. Even though I have my criticisms about it, I still really love the game. I found myself actually completing it, unlike other games where I just gave up halfway just because it was so boring. But thank you for watching my review on Life Play, and I'll see you later.